Hello friends, today we will discuss on master data in SAP MM S4 HANA. So what are the different type of master data we have? Why it is important? Each and everything we will discuss in details. And then I will show you how can we make the configurations for master data in SAP system. So we will see end-to-end configuration as well. Okay, so let's get started. So when we start with master data, so these are the different type of master data we have in SAP MM. Material master, business partner, which is supplier master or vendor master. In S4 HANA, this functionality is called as business partner. So we have already discussed about business partner in details in our previous videos. You can go through that, or we will discuss it again if you have any issues. Then we have service master, where we maintain all the services. Info records, source list, quota arrangement. So these are called master data in SAP MM S4 HANA. So I'm just giving you the little overview of all these, and then we will discuss in details later. Okay, material master means where you are going to maintain all your type of materials, material groups, okay, everything you are going to maintain. Business partner is nothing but the supplier master or the vendor master. So in SAP ECC, it was called as vendor master or supplier master. But in S4 HANA, this is called as business partner. Service master, whatever service related materials you required, that we maintain within service master. So there will be some material which will be used in the industries, and there will be some services which will be used in the industries. So we will discuss in details about all this. Now, info record, where we maintain the information about a particular material from the particular supplier. And the source list, so there will be, source list is kind of supplier list where you will have multiple list of suppliers. Out of that, you are selecting one or two supplier to make your procurement. So we'll discuss in details. And then quota arrangement. So quota arrangement is also called as the, basically this is used if you want to allocate some, quota to some particular vendor. For example, you have, for example, there is a supplier and he has some limitations. Like he cannot supply more than the particular quantity. Then what are we doing is we are going to arrange some quota to that particular vendor. Okay, you can supply this much of quantity. So please arrange the material accordingly. Okay. Now, material master and business partner, supplier master or vendor master. These are called general master. Material master and business partner. These are called general master in SAP MM. And service master as well. And then info record, source list, and quota arrangement, these are called purchase master. So why these are general master? Because these material master, business partner, and the service master is used by other departments as well. That can be your finance, that can be your sales. But info record, source list, and quota arrangement, these three are purchase master, which is used only for procurement activities. Okay, now let's get started. So what is material master? So when we start with material master, we'll see these are the different type of materials we have in material master. So what are the type of materials? You can see raw materials, semi-finished materials, semi-finished products, finished products or finished materials, spare parts, waste material. Then you have trading material, service material, non-stock material, then pipeline material. So I have taken few of the material type which is really required to run any business, and these are really required. Okay. Now you might be seeing I have written some code here. So what are all these? So these are the standard code in SAP MM, which is defined by SAP itself. So we need to remember this material type code. You can see these material type codes are defined individually, and it is unique for each type of material. So you can see for raw material, it is ROH. So this is the standard material type for raw material. In the same way, you can see for semi-finished material, it is HALB. For finished products, it is FERT. For spare parts, it is ERSA. For waste material, it is ABF. For trading, it is HAWA. Service material, it is SERV in S4 HANA. In ECC, it was DIEN. Okay. The non-stock material, NLAG. And for pipeline material, it is pipe. So these are the standard type of material which is defined by SAP. So we need to remember all these standard type of material code. When we will start creating all these material types in SAP system, we can define or we can customize this type of material based on your client's requirements. So ROH is the standard one. So we have to just use the standard one. We have to take the reference of the standard one, and we need to create the new type of material, whatever it is required or that's to our business based on your client's expectation or based on client's requirements. So these are the type of materials we have. Now, what are all these? Like, what is raw material? So raw material means any material which you want to use to complete your product. For example, you want to manufacture a tire, the tire which is there everywhere. We are using bike, we're using car, aeroplane, truck, everywhere. The tire is going to be used. So when we are using the raw material and planning to manufacture a finished product as tire, we require raw materials. So there can be multiple raw materials which is maybe required to manufacture the finished product of the tire which we are talking about. So it can, raw material can be a steel, it can be chemical, it can be rubber, it can be anything, whatever it is required. So when you will be working in the real-time business, it is not only about the tire, it can be anything, it can be any product. Any product which we are using in our home. We are using water bottles, we are using so many things at our house, right? So to manufacture the water bottle also, we need the raw material. We need plastic, we need chemical, we need wire, maybe so many things it is required to manufacture a product. So whatever raw material we required, or whatever the list of raw material we will have in the industry, we have to maintain all those raw materials within this raw material type. So that is the usability of raw material. Now, in your company, there will be the semi-finished product also. So semi-finished product means when you start manufacturing a product, for example, you have started manufacturing a tire. So in the first stage, you use some raw material and you start manufacturing, because when you go to the production department, you can see they will have multiple departments, or they will have multiple stage of the production, where you can see in the first stage, they will manufacture some part of the product. So for example, your finished product is a tire. So to manufacture the entire or the whole tire, the finished tire product, initially when they start with a little bit of maybe 20% or 30% of the tire they will manufacture. Then, so that maybe as per their plan, that will be in their first stage of the production. Maybe in the second stage of the production, the production or the product will complete up to 50%, then 70%, then 80%. Then like this, when it will reach 100%, means their product is ready. So in between, when they will start manufacturing the product for 20%, 40% or 60%, so that stage, or that in that stage, whatever material is ready, that material we can call it as semi-finished product. That is our HALB. Okay, so we will see how this material types can be created in the system. Okay, then finished product. So what is finished product? The finished product is a product which is ready to use. Like whatever the material or whatever products we are consuming at our home. Like we are eating some foods, like we are eating biscuits, we are eating so many products. So whatever the final product which we are consuming, that is our finished product. It is the finished product which we eat, which we consume, or the customer consume. So when we have taken the example of tire, so who used the tire at the end? The customer. Which customer, and where that can be used? The tire can be used in bike, so that the bike can start and they can run on the bike. They can ride on the bike. Yeah, they can. That can be your bus. That can be your aeroplane. So in all these, we finally use the finished product. So that is comes under your finished product part. Then spare parts. So what is spare parts? Spare parts can be your engineering materials, whatever the engineering materials you have. It can be your machine, it can be your nut, bolts, whatever you have in your industry. So when we talk about the finished product, semi-finished product and all, so where all these, well, where finally your product is going to manufacture? It is going to manufacture in the plant. And in the plant, they're using machines, right? So they will have big machines. So in those machines, the nut, bolt, whatever they are using. So all those type of materials will come under spare parts. So these are the use of your engineering materials within spare parts. Then waste material. What is waste material? Waste material means your scrap material, which you can use or which you cannot use. So when you start manufacturing any product, suppose you have taken 100 kgs of raw material. So what do you think? Are you using all those 100 kgs of the raw material? No. Out of 100, there will be 80% or 90% material will be used and 20% or 10% will be your waste material. So in the companies, they are not throwing the waste material, right? They keep somewhere. They keep in the waste material or the waste storage. So there will be some storage location that can be your scrap storage location or that can be your waste material storage location. So they will keep all those type of material will be maintained as waste material, because at the end the company sell those waste material also. Okay, now next, trading material. What is trading material? So trading material means these are the type of material which are not manufactured in the company. For example, there is a company, or when we have taken the example of tire, let's take an example of MRF tire. And in MRF tire company, what can be the trading material? Maybe they have received, MRF tire sales department have received the order for tire, but the size of tire or the type of tire which they have, the order which they have received, they might not be manufactured in that plant. Maybe they don't have machine to manufacture that product. So in that case, what the company will do, at the end, they don't want to lose the customers, right? So whatever order they have received, they will try to arrange it from somewhere else. Maybe they can reach out to some other company who can supply or who can manufacture this product. Or maybe suppose the company is in India and now the same product we can manufacture in our plant, which is there in UK. So what we can do, we can request to our UK team or UK plant that this is what the customer's requirement we have received. Based on the parameters or based on the requirement which they have, we are not able to fulfill here in this plant. So can you please manufacture this plant and send it to us so that we can sell it to the customer? That means in trading material, we are not manufacturing. We are buying it or we are getting it from some other locations, from other suppliers, and then we are packing it and we are selling it to the customer. So in trading materials, you can see it's in our day-to-day activity. If we will talk, the shirt, whatever the the malls we have, shopping malls and all. So when you are going to buy something, they are not manufacturing there, right? So they might be buying from somewhere, and they are keeping their all those products in their store, and from there they are selling it to the customers. So you can say those are your type of trading materials. So if that kind of materials are being used in your company, then that material is called as trading material. Okay. Now, next is service material. What is service material? So when we talk about service material, that means what are the services the company is availing in the organization, or you as a employee, what are the different services you are availing in the company? So what do you think? What is service master? So it can be your bus services, it can be your canteen services, it can be your training services, it can be your training, can be anything, it can be your quality training, it can be your software training, it can be your health training. There can be many types of training which the company conducts. So in that case, what the company is doing, they're hiring the trainer from outside of the organization. They are coming to you in your plant or in your company, and then they are providing training to the employees. So that also comes under your service material. Then maintenance is also plant maintenance. To maintain anything like your machine maintenance, your AC, cooler, chair, table, whatever it is there in your organization, in your company. So those are called as your service materials. Okay. Now, non-stock materials. What is non-stock material? Non-stock material type is NLAG. So non-stock material means the type of materials which will be there in your storage location. Maybe that material will not be there in your master data. In your database, it will be, you are not maintaining. That may cost to your company. Sometimes if suppose by mistake, if somebody has done any transaction, there can be some issue. So for non-stock material is a type of material which will be stored in the storage location, but it will not be there in the database. What can be the reason? Reason can be that material might be using in your company, in your plant to manufacture the product. Maybe 2-3 years back, the same material was used. But nowadays, you are not using that material. But you might be thinking that, okay, not now, maybe after 6 months, 1 year, 2 years down the line, you can use anytime this material. So as a kind of stock, you kept it somewhere in the storage location and you named it as non-stock material. Okay. Now, next is pipeline material. So what is pipeline material? So pipeline material is the type of material which is passes through the pipe. Any material in your company which is passes through the pipe. So what can be that type of material? It can be your electricity, it can be your water, it can be your gas, right? It can be your diesel, whatever it is used in the companies. And that is passing through the pipe. So those type of materials are called as pipeline materials. Okay. So these are the type of materials in material master. Now let's get into the system and I will show you how can we define the different type of materials and what are the different activities we have when we start configuration in SAP system. Okay, so I have just logged into this. So to define the material master, we have the configuration path. So the standard configuration path, always it starts with SPRO. So just to enter SPRO here, then press enter. Then click on SAP reference IMG. And then here now you have to get into logistics general. So based on your module, you can see based on your like usability, you have to select the correct path in the display IMG. Okay. Now just expand this. And here you can see now within or under logistics general, here we have material master. So you have to just follow this path. So click on material master. Then we have basic settings. And here we have the field selection also. So when I will show you what is the usability of this field selection. Field selection means whatever field we have, how can we control all those fields here? So we'll talk in details about it. So let me explain you what are the fields and other things. And then I will show you what is the usability of field. Then it would be clear for you to understand. Okay, now click on basic settings. So click on basic settings. Then here you have material types. So click on material types and then click on define attributes of material types. Define attributes of material types. So now we will start defining the material type in the system. So now you might have noted all these details. So when we talk about the material type, we will see what are the different type of material. So what we do in the material type. So what is material type? So it is a type of material which we have discussed now, where we group all the similar kind of properties of the material together. Okay. Now click on this, and here you can see this is MTYP. MTYP means material type. Okay. So this is the first column is material type, and this one is material type description. Okay. So as we have discussed about the type of materials. So if you'll see here, raw material is a type of material. So now if you want to create a raw material type, what will you do? How will you create the raw material type? Here we are talking about end-to-end configurations of the material types, and then I will show you how can we create the material also. Okay. Now, here we have seen these are the type of materials. Now, suppose if you want to create a raw material type, so what will we do? We know that to create the raw materials, ROH is the standard material type. Okay. So now here first, you need to search the standard material type. So to search a new material type, you have to click on this position tab. So click on position, and in the material type field, just you enter the type of material which you want to create. So I will select for ROH. So I have searched and I found that ROH is the standard material type which is available in the system. Now, if you want to create a new material type, because ROH is the material type which is the standard material type. Maybe your client will expect now that why should I go for the standard one? So there should be some new material type which we can use. So in that case, you have to select the standard one. Click on this copy tab. So we have discussed about the tabs. So select the material type. So how will you select? You have to click on the left side of this material type. You have this square shape. So click on this. And if it is colored as yellow, that means this line has been selected. So you have selected the material type now, and now click on copy. So once you will click on copy, now you can see it is in the change view of material type, and that is in details of selected set. Okay. So now whatever the type we have selected as raw material, these are your standard fields. So these are called fields. So this is the field for raw material code. This is the field for raw material description. This is the field for reference. So like that, we will have different fields here. So when we are trying to create a new one, once you have copied, just change the material type code. Remember, if you are customizing your material type in SAP, either we should use Y initial or Z. So for example, I want to create, so because now I have copied from ROH, and I am just, what I'm doing, I am customizing this code from ROH to ZROD. For example, I'm just giving ZROD. And then I will define my type of materials. So it will depend what type of material you have created and what is the. So just for my reference, I have just used my company which I have created so that I can search easily, because this is a practice server. In the real-time server, you can write whatever you can write, because you can see only your data, whatever you have created. Okay. So I have just changed my material type code. I have customized my code from ROH to ZROT, and I have changed the description here. And here you can see these are the standard fields. Okay, ROH. And the item category group, keep it as norm. Okay, we will talk about all this in details about like plant maintenance status, and then with quantity structure and other fields based on the usability. Okay, the next, this is called user department. So user department means whenever you will try to create a material by using this material type, what department should be accessed or can be used to fill their details. So here you can see the user department, work scheduling. So work scheduling is the department which is maintained by the production department. If production department want to maintain anything for this material type, they can select it. So who is maintaining all this? This is the responsibility of SAP MM consultant. We as a consultant need to talk with the production consultant, which is PP consultant, production and planning consultant, and we'll ask them that we are going to create this material type. Do we need to maintain work scheduling as part of the user department? Yes or no? So definitely they will require. So they will ask yes, because they might be maintaining some data in work scheduling. Then we have accounting. So accounting related information. For any material, we need the accounting information. Okay, so it is required. In classification, we have to maintain some characteristics. MRP, again, it is required or relevant to production department. Then we have purchasing. So this is related to us. Then production resources and tools. So production department required. Costing. So how to get the cost of the product. Again, it will be used for the finance department. Basic data, it is required for MM. Storage required for MM. Forecasting, it can be required for us and PP both. Okay. Quality management related to the quality department. So we have to talk with the quality consultant, quality management consultant, and we'll ask them that we are creating this material. Sometimes, few materials which is, or few material type which is not required to maintain for the quality department. So in that case, we don't maintain it, but we need to check with them first whether we should maintain it or not. Because once we'll create this material type, after that, again, we have to come back and we have to make the changes. Then we have warehouse management. So we have WM is also a module, warehouse management, which is now extended warehouse management. We call it EWM. If it is required, we will select this. So like this, we have sales department also. So so you can see when we are trying to create a material type, how many departments are involved. So that is what it is called the general master, which is used by multiple departments, by multiple modules. Okay. So now you have selected whatever the user department you require and you have changed it. Now scroll down. And here you can see, here we have the option internal and external purchase order. So here it is written 2. So EXT dot means external purchase order. INT dot means internal purchase order. So if we click on external purchase order and if we click on, so these are the standard, parameters which we have. So 2 is used, external purchase order allowed. So if you are selecting your external purchase order as 2, that means you are allowing your procurement for externally. Okay, because the material type which we are creating is raw material, so it can be procured externally, right? So we have to purchase it from outside. If you don't want, then select no external purchase order allowed. You think that for this type of material, maybe tomorrow you will create a new material type, some different type of materials. And for that type of material, you are not allowing, your business does not want to allow to procure it externally. They can purchase it internally, but they cannot purchase externally. So in that case, you can select 0. Okay. The next is internal purchase order. So here also 2, but this is internal purchase order. So internally, you are allowing order. We are allowing internally and externally both. So in that case, you have to select like this. Now, next is class type. So we are not using this class type. So we'll discuss it later. Now, come back. Now come down. Here you have the valuation. So in this valuation tab, here we can see both 2 options. One is price control and account cat dot means category. This is called account category reference. So first one is price control. So what is price control? So these are called the indicators. So there are 2 type of price control indicator we have. One is V, which is used for moving average price or the periodic unit price. And S is the indicator which is used for standard price of any material. So what is the difference between these 2? What is standard price and what is moving price, moving average price? So standard price means in this case, if you're selecting your price control indicator as S for this material type which you are creating now, that means the price of this material type, whenever you will create a material by using this material type, the price of that material will be fixed. Standard price means the price will be fixed for that. Okay. But if you're selecting it as V, means moving average price. So moving average price in the sense that price can fluctuate. And based on the current price or the updated price, system will allow you for the procurement for the raw material. Because the raw material price can be, maybe today it is 100 rupees per kg, tomorrow it can be 110 rupees per kg, or it may be 90 rupees per kg also. So it depends. So when the buyer and seller will make the negotiation, there they will mention this indicator, or this part they will definitely discuss. That today I am making the contract, the buyer will say, today we are making the contract of 100 rupees per kg. But suppose after 10 rupees, in the global market, if this cost will be 90 rupees per kg, then which price you will apply? Okay. So that is how they will discuss, and they will make it as part of the discussion and final conclusion they will come up with. Okay. Now, next is account category reference. So what is account category reference? So for every type of material, we will have different account category reference. And this account category reference code will be maintained by SAP FI consultant only. We don't maintain it. Okay. So if I'll click on this, you can see now for each type of material, you will have different account category reference. So if I'll click on see 0001 is defined for raw material. 0002 is defined for operating supplies. 3 is defined for spare parts. 4 is defined for packing material. 5 is defined for trading material. 6 is defined for service material. 7 is defined for non-value-added materials. 8 is defined for semi-finished material. 9 is defined for finished material. And 10 is defined for non-stock material. And below 10, whatever you are seeing, these are the customized account category reference. So that is how the finance department will create, and they will give it to us. Not they will give it to us. So now the moment I clicked on this drop down, I could see all the account category reference based on the description. So whatever the type of material you are selecting, based on that type of material, usually it should pick automatically, because when we start creating the type of materials and the finance department or the FI consultant will start working on the account reference category, they will ask us the list of all the type of materials. And against each material type, they will make this assignment of the account reference category. So that whenever you will select the material type, based on that, this account reference category will pick automatically here. So we saw that this account category reference 0001 picked here automatically based on the type of the material. If I'll go back and if I'll select some different type of materials, suppose I'll select finished material type, this account category reference should be picked as finished material type 0009. So we'll see that. Okay. Now, so these are the things which we need to maintain. And here we have some quantity value updating. Now you will be seeing the moment I will press enter, system will ask for this. So in all valuation area means plant here. Okay. In no valuation area. In all valuation area means for all the plants. If no valuation area, for no plant. By valuation means by the plant. Value will update if or in no valuation area or in all valuation area. So like that you have to be there. And it is in display mode, so you cannot edit anything. So this is your standard things. Now, this is your material type ID. So what is the material type ID? This is your general material type ID. Okay. It should be general. So this is what the changes we have to do when we create it. So what I did, I just changed the material type code. I have changed the description and I kept these all as it is. And then I checked with my user department, whatever it is required. And I have also checked with my price control indicator and account reference category. And this internal and external purchase order. Once it is done, now you can see there is a no save option here. So once you have edited, just press enter. Once you will click on or press enter, you can see now It is asked. So it is a warning message. Wherever you will be finding this kind of icon means this is a warning message. Okay. Now here it is. The warning is changing the quantity or value update may cause inconsistencies, because we copied from the standard one and created the new one. So that is what system is giving us a information that you are trying to change the quantity value update also will make some cause inconsistencies. Okay, so we'll see that now. Then press, whenever you will finding or you will be getting this warning message, just press enter once again. And now you can see this is the information. So what is that information? Here you can see the number of dependent entries copied. So from where it copied? 252 entries copied from ROH, because we copied from ROH. That means from ROH around 252 entries which has been copied now to my new material type as GROD. Okay. So now onwards, I will start using my raw material type as GROD, not ROH. Okay, because I have copied now. Now click on continue. And now you can see here it is showing number of copied entries. How much entries we have copied? 1. So it will show 1. You can see ZROD is visible now. So this is the new customization you have done. Now in the same way you have to create for all the type of materials. So you can see all the type of materials. So I have just created raw material type. So in the same way you have to create all the type of materials. So I'm showing you one more material type, and rest of the type of materials, you can create it by your own in the same way. So first you have to remember your standard code, then go back to SAP. So now, because I'm already there in this table or in this configuration path of the material type, so click on position again, because now I want to create a finished material type. So what will I do? I will enter FERT. So whatever type of material you want to create, just enter the standard one first, click on continue. And now I can see FERT is the standard material type which is available. So what should I do now? If I want to create a new one, what we have done for the raw material? Same thing. So you have to select it. You have to click on this copy as, and then change the material type code. ZFR1, whatever. Okay. And finished product for ADG. Just for my reference, I'm writing this description. So when you practice in the dummy server, you can use the same. But when you will be working in the real-time project, no need to mention all, or you can mention based on your understanding. Okay. And you can see now the field reference earlier, it was ROH for our raw material. For finished product, it is FERT. So that is how you will be getting all the standard parameters enabled here. So here also you can see your status of your user department. So whatever it is required, based on that, you can select all your user department. Then your internal and external purchase order. And here you can see price control indicator. S is picking automatically here. And account category reference 0009 is picking here. So earlier account category reference was 0001 for raw material, right? But 0009 is the account category reference which is defined for finished material type. So the moment I selected finished material type, the account category reference 0009 picked automatically. Now why price control indicator S picked automatically? Because finished product is a product which is ready for sale to the customer. And when we plan to sell it to the customer, that means your product is ready and you might have fixed some price for that. So that's the reason the price control indicator picked automatically as S. It can be V also. You can change it to V. But system is saying that if it is your finished product, you can maintain your price control indicator as S, because you are going to sell it in some particular cost. Okay. If you know that your price or your material or your finished product cost may increase or decrease, you can use this as V also. V as your moving average price indicator. Okay. And then what you need to do, just press enter. That's it. And again, you will be getting the same warning message. Then press enter. And again, You are getting this information. So now whatever data or whatever the entries was there in the standard material type FERT, now that copied to ZFR1 material type. So continue. And now you can see another FR1 also created here. Now, remember, whenever you are creating a new material type, select the standard material type. Select that new material type, whatever you have created. So we have created two material types, ZROD and ZFR1. So whenever you are creating, if you have customized a new material type, select that and click on the left side. Here you have this option, quantity and value updating. So double click on this quantity value updating. And here you can see first column is your valuation area. So valuation area means your plant. So if the valuation area is your plant, that means whatever plant you have created, that should be there within this valuation area list. Yes. If you go down, just try to search your plant, whatever you have created, or click on this position and then enter your valuation area as your plant. So my plant was MDP1. Or what was my plant? Let me check. So you can check by clicking on the drop down as well. I think it was ADP1. Let me check. ADP1. Yeah, you can see ADP1. So this is my valuation area. And then just click on continue. Now you can see for this valuation area, for this plant, this quantity updating and value updating, these two are blank. So if you remember, when you were trying to copy the standard material type and was creating a new one, there was a warning message that quantity and value update may cause inconsistencies, right? That means when you copied that, this quantity and value update has been disabled. So you have to enable it now. ADP1, whatever plant you have. So I have two plants. So I am updating quantity updating and value updating for both the two plants. That is not working. Function code cannot be selected. Okay, we'll come back on this again. Okay. Now we'll try it after some time. It should be allowed. Then press enter. And now you can see it is allowed now. So sometime because of the system issue, it happens. So now it is allowed to select both. If you will not select, you will get the error while creating the purchase requisition. Okay, we'll see that error also. So what I'm doing is I'm just selecting for one plant and I'm not selecting for another plant. So when I will try to create the purchase requisition by using this plant, definitely we'll get the error. And then we have to come back and we have to resolve it. And if I'll create a purchase requisition by using this plant or this particular plant, error will not come. So we will get that, or we will see the error, what type of error it is coming. Okay, now click on save. So once you'll click on save, again you need to check what is your transport request number. Where are you going to save all your configurations? So whatever configuration you are doing now, where are you going to save it? Okay. Now, so this is not my request number as it is enterprise structure, because I am working on master data now. So what I will do, I'll create a new request number for master data. So click on create request, write your module name first, and then write your description, master data. Then click on save. So now you can see the request number has been changed and my description also updated. Now click on continue. So now I have saved my material type and the changes. Now the same thing you need to do it for your new material type as your finished material type. So we have discussed about all these type of materials, right? So when you will start practice or when you will start creating in the project, you have to create all these type of materials. So I've just created for two types. So in the same way, you have to do it for other as well. Okay. Now, because I have created this material type also. So I'll also select this one and I'll click on this. I'll do the same activity. I'll repeat the same activity now. So I'll double click on quantity value updating, because for each material type, you have to do it. Then click on position. Again, you will be seeing the same message, same warning message. Then continue, enter your plant code, then press enter. And now see it is blank. So whenever you will copy from the standard one, whenever you will copy from the standard one, you will be getting this message. Then click on save. You might have observed now that request number did not ask, right? But for the previous material type, it was asking to save the, or it was asking to save your data in the correct request number. Why it not asked now? Because we are in the same transaction, in the same screen we have, in the same transaction we are doing, in the same path. That's the reason it's not coming, okay? But it has been saved in the same transaction, in same transaction request number. So now come back. So first, what did we do? We have defined the material type. Next activity is define number range for each material type. So when we start configuration for the material master, first, when you define the type of materials in attributes of material types, you have to define the number range now. What do you need to define the number range? You need to now define the number range for each material type. Now, what is number range? Number range means, okay, I'll show you. Now click on this define number range for each material. Remember this step, what it is saying. It is saying define number range. You have to define the number range. What number range we'll discuss for each material type. That means whatever the type of materials you have created, for each type of materials, you have to define the number range. That is what it is saying. So whatever type of materials you have created so far, so I have just created two material type. That means I will define number range for two material, because here it is saying define number range for each material type. So if you have defined 10 material types or 7 material type, you have to define the number range for each material type. Okay. Now click on this define number ranges for each material types. So click on this. And here now you can see we have 3 tabs. Intervals, this is only for display. If I'll click on this interval, this is called number range. Okay. So let me tell you what is number range first. Number range means you are going to define some numbers, or you are going to assign some numbers to some particular material. For example, in your company, there are 300 materials. And for each material, there is some name, right? So if you know that you have 300 materials, you call it by name. Okay, this is this material for carbon, this is for rubber, this is pen, this is paper, like that. There are names for each materials. So in SAP, we have the functionality where we have to define the number for each material. So if you have 300 materials, for all those 300 materials, there should be some number. It can be any number. It can start with 1, 2, 3, or the series which you want. You can see the number range length. You can see the number range length here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So number range length here is maximum number range length. Here it is showing as 18. So the number range length maximum 18 digit was in ECC. In S4 HANA system, the maximum number range length is 40 digit. System will allow up to 40 digit. But for that, there is some parameter which has to be enabled. Then only system will allow to maintain 40 digit. So SAP has given this option that you can extend your material number range up to 40 digit if it is required. Unnecessarily, it is not required to enable that parameter. You know that the material which your client is using, maybe in that company only 5,000, 6,000 materials are there. So 5,000 for 5,000, 6,000 of materials, do you think that we need 18 digit of material? No. So how much you require? Suppose there are 10,000. So how many digits it is required? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So only 5 digits is required. Even you are not able to use all these numbers. So why you need 40 digits? So if in your company, you know that there are only 10,000 materials now for your client, but that is their current status. But maybe now in after 10 years or 15 years, it may increase to 20,000 or 30,000 also. Then what we need to do, we need to define the maximum number range which they can use in future. That can be changed. The number range which we are going to define, that can be changed later. But as of now, we can define the maximum number range length to the customer, to your client, so that they can create the materials for next 10, 20 years. And system will provide the number for each material. So that is the concept of number range. Now here you have from number and to numbers. So now try to understand. So it is starting with 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. And it is ending with 500. What does that mean? If this material number range is assigned to your raw material type, that means system will allow you to create 500 materials only. That is the concept. If you have given your range from 1 to 500, that means your system will allow you to create the 500 materials only. Okay. So this is what the number range we have given. So based on your input, system will give you the output. Simple. Then you have NR status. What is NR status? NR status is number range status. So here it is 300. That means from 1 to 500, within this number range, 300 materials are used. 200 materials are left. So till 300, the materials number are already used. That means 300 materials are already created in the system. So how many left? 200 only. So 200 system will allow. So in the same way, you can see for other number ranges. Here it is, they have started with 6001 and ending with 6499. And they have used till date 6010 only. So only 9 material they have used, they have created. So system will allow them to create rest of the material, whatever the number range they have defined in their 2. Isn't it? Yes. So that is how you can define your from number and to number in the system. So we will define, I will show you how can you create the number ranges. Okay. Now, so this is just the example I was just showing because it was in the display mode, because this is display mode. Okay. Now, next, if your pencil is there with name written as intervals, if you click on this, now you can see these are the edit mode. So whatever you have created earlier, if you want to make any changes on that, you can make the changes. Okay. So system will allow you to make the changes if material are not yet created. Now you can see NR status is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Then only system is going to allow you. Now there are, okay, we'll discuss on that. Now next, come back. So this is how you can see, this is the display mode, the change mode. Next is NR status. So if you click on this, so this is what we have seen, the NR status. The moment I have selected these tabs, those tabs was enabled, right? So this was in display mode, so everything was in display mode. If I clicked on this interval, means the interval was enabled. End one, which has not yet been used. Okay. Then come back, the NR status. The moment I clicked on NR status, this NR status tab has been enabled. Fine. Now come back. So these are the status which is here. Now next is your change group. So now you have to click on this icon. Once you'll click on this change groups, you will be able to see the type of materials, whatever it is created in this system. So now what we need to do, we need to assign the number range to the material types. What was the statement? The statement was assign number range for each material type, or define number range for each material type. So now what we have done, we have just created the material type, but still we have not created the material number range. So what do we need to do now? We need to define the number range first. So to define the number range, you have to click on this create group tab. So click on group tab, and here you and write your material type number description. And just for my reference, I'm just writing it. Okay. The group name you have given raw material, and number range. What number range you want to give now? See, the number range which is already available in the system, if you try to maintain the same number, system will not allow. So there should be a number range which should be used here, which is not yet used in the system. For example, I am just taking this number. Let's see whether this number is created or not. If it is not created, system will allow. If it is created, system will not allow. So I'm going with this series. 1 second. Yeah. I'm going with, for example, 589 or 582. Oh, okay, sorry. This is your reference number range. So here it will not allow more than 2 digits. So you can give any 2-digit number. Suppose I have given K7. Now get into this from number and to number. So in from number, now suppose I want to create the number called 497000000. So this is the digit I want to create, because I feel that these are the number ranges which are enough for my client. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So only 10 digit or 1 digit I'm going to start. Okay. Then select it, copy the same on the 2 number. And here it will depend how many number ranges you want to create. If you want to give the maximum number range, then you have to enter 999. In spite of 00, you have to enter 9999999. So maximum number ranges you can create with 497 series. But what will I do? Because this is the server here, I can, if I use all the numbers, maybe if somebody else will try to create the numbers, system will not allow. So what will I do? I'll just take 20 numbers. So that, because I just want, maybe I required only 20 numbers. So I'm just using 20 numbers here. Okay. Now, next NR status, it will be blank now. And on the right hand side here, you can see this is external. So there are 2 type of number ranges we have: internal number range and external number range. So what is internal number range? Internal number range will be used mostly the numeric number range. If it is external number range, that means that will be the combination of alphanumeric. It can be A, B like that. A, B to YG like that. So if you're maintaining the number range like this, then you mention that number as external. Now, how will the system will understand whether it is internal number range or external number range based on this? So below this external, here you can see this parameter. So if you click on flag, that means system will understand that the number range which you have given, when you have given the numeric numbers, but system will understand that this number you have made it as external. Okay. So mostly we use the internal number range. It helps us for the reporting purpose. Okay, so I have just entered my from number and to number, and I didn't flag it. If I flag it, this number will be considered as my external number range. So I have not flagged it, means this is internal number range. Okay, that is how you can differentiate your internal and external number range. Then click on save. So once you'll click on save, now see what the system is saying. It is saying interval K7, this interval overlap with interval 94. That means this number is already existing in the system and it is overlapping. So it is not allowing you. So what I will do now, I'll try to change this number because it is talking about the numbers. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just go back and I'll click on yes. And I'll come back again. I'll change the description. Raw material. And then just write ADG. Okay. And the number range reference, I'll just enter something CL. Okay, because maybe the that numbers are already used in the system, so system will not allow. But when you will be working in the real-time project, you can give whatever you want to give. System will not stop you because that will be new for you. But here maybe because many people are using this server, so because of that, maybe you can face the issue with overlapping. And now the number range, I would like to start with this 7310. This series suppose I want to use. I hope this number has not been used, and I'll use just 20 numbers. Then press enter. Now see, system has picked it. That means this number range is available. In the real time, when you will be working in the project, remember I'm repeating again and again, whatever number range you want to define based on the discussion with your business or among your colleagues, you can define your number range series based on the material type, and you can define here. And now click on save. So whenever you will click on save, this pop-up will come. So just continue. And now you can see the changes were saved. So just now I have created my material number range for raw material. Now in the same way, you have to define the number range for your finished product also. So once it is saved, now come back. Then again, go to this create groups, and then now finished goods or finished material, whatever you want to write. And then just write your company name. So this is what I have written just for my reference. Okay. Now CF is the reference name I want to give. And the from number, now I want to use the same number, whatever number range I have used. What I have used now is 20. Till 20 I had used. So I am using from 21 to 40 or 21 to 40. So this is the number range now I want to use for my finished product. For practice purpose, don't create more than 20-30 number ranges. Okay. Then press enter. Now see, this interval is already exist. CF is already exist. So what I'll do, I'll just write GF. Now see, it is allowed. Okay. And then now click on save. The changes were saved. Now come back. So I had created only two type of materials. So I have defined two number ranges, two different number ranges for two different type of material. So if you will create 5 or 7 type of materials, you define 7 individual number range. The system will not stop you to assign all the material type to only one number range. But doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. If you're creating different type of material and all the type of material you're assigning to one number range, that doesn't make any sense. So whatever material you will create, system will provide you the same number. Then it would be very confusing for the customers, to the client, that the same number range or same series is picking for all type of materials. So we are defining the number range for each material type for their identification, so that they can identify, okay, if 47 series is starting, that means this is number range is assigned to raw material type. That means whenever they will try to create a raw material, only this number will be. Okay. So like that, we have to define. Okay. Now, once it is done, we have defined the number range. Now we have the type of material also. Now, how will you search your type of material? Control F, search your type of material now. ZROD. So ZROD was the raw material which I had created. So click on this. Now it is see, this ZROD is assigned to this number range. But we have created our separate number range for raw material. So what will I do now? I'll select it. I'll click on this tab. This is called Assign Element to Group tab. So click on Assign Element to Group. And if you'll scroll down, here you have to search your material number range description, whatever you had given. So do you remember when I was trying to create the number range, in the top, in the group tab, I had given the description of the material type. Description of the material. What was that? Yeah, this was created for finished product, but I am assigning the number range to the raw materials. So yeah, this one. So just double click on this. Now the moment you will click on this, double click on this, the material type which you have seen earlier here has been assigned to that number range. So now to the Control F now, enter your type of material and search. Now see this type of this material type is assigned to your new number range, whatever you have created. So if you want to double check, just double click on this and click on yes. Interval does not exist. 1 second. Do you want to save the change first? Yes. Okay, here it is saying that this interval is not exist. Okay, we'll check on this. Okay, now let's make the assignment for another type of material. So another type of material was our finished material, right? So it was ZRO1. So it is saying, oh, sorry, that should be Z. If what was that? ZFR1, I guess. Yeah. No. Okay, let's search with the description. If sometime it will not show the name, then you need to search it with the description. You can see this one, ZFR1. Now select it, click on assignment group. Now go down and check your description of the number range, whatever you had given. Yeah, here it is. So this is for raw material. Where is the one for finished product? So you have to search that. And see, these are the number ranges. Okay, I had given the description as ADGB1, so I'm searching based on that. So this ADGB1 is for raw material. Then where is the finished material? Yeah, this is for finished goods. So click on this. And now to the Control F and Z. Now try to search with this ZFR1. Yeah, it's available now. Now you can see it has been assigned to this. Now double click on this and click on yes. Now it is showing interval does not exist. Okay, let me save first and then we will check whether the intervals are available or not. Because we have just created and it is saying that intervals are not available. That means maybe that number range has not been created or okay, we'll check that. Do you want to save the change first? Yes. So it is not allowing us to save. Strange. Okay, no worries. What we'll do, click on create again. Oh, there are some issue with the system because for everything it is showing the same interval does not exist. Interval does not exist. Okay, no worries. We'll come back and we'll see again. Click on save and click on yes. Now see the same thing is coming here also. So it should not ask again and again. There are some issue with the system. Now come back. Now see it reached to the home page. So something went wrong. So let's get started once again from the beginning. So I'll just show you the path because path we know what is the path we have to follow now. So get into SPRO, then SAP reference IMG, then the same path I'm following, logistics general, then material master, then go to basic settings, then go to material types, then click on define attributes of material type, which we have already done. Now click on define number range for each material type, click on this, then click on intervals and now check whatever the number range we have created is visible here or not. CF is there. See, this is the number range. No, CF was not ours. One was K7 and GF, I think. Yeah. Yeah, this is the number range which I have created, right? So it is available. And K5, no, not K5. Okay, we'll see the number range now. So now come back, click on insert now. And then now check the assignment which we had done, whether it has been saved or not. ZFR1. Now see, this is not saved. It is somewhere else. So now select your type of material. Click on this assignment element group. Then assign this to your finished goods. JDGB. Yeah, it is here. Click on this and save now. Now see, changes have been saved here. That means now if I try to search with this material type, is assigned to this material type now. Sorry, this number range. If I double click on this, now you can see the number range. Earlier it was not showing, right? So that was a system behavior. Sometime it happens. Don't worry. Okay, now in the same way, you have to make the assignment for your raw material type. So what was your raw material type? It was ZROD. Yeah, click on this. Now it is assigned somewhere else. Again, now click on this, click on assign element group, then scroll down. And here you can check your material type, description, whatever you had given for number range. So it is for finished material. So where is, yeah, this is for raw material type. So click on this and then save. So now it has been saved. Control F and search again, ZROD. And now you can see this material type is assigned to this number range. Double click on this and here you can see. So this is how you can define your number range. So once you have defined your number range, so I have just created two material type, and I have assigned the number range for each material type. So what was the new concept here which you have understand till now? So till now there was like, we have discussed on the different type of materials, and then we discussed on the number range. So there are two type of number range, internal and external, right? Then we have seen price control indicator, right? Then quantity value updating. Then external purchase order allowed or not allowed option was there. Then we have seen account category reference, right? That key was there. So this is what we have seen so far. So once you have done, now next, so I have just created for two material type. So in the same way, you have to do it for all the type of materials. Okay. Now next, come back. And next is now, just minimize this basic settings and get into the setting for key fields. Now we need to define the material group. So what is material group? So in material group means whatever the material type we have created, when we start creating the material by using that material type, we have to classify that material type based on the additional feature, or in general, we will say like it is a kind of further sub classification of the material type is called as a material group. Okay, and there should be at least one material group for each material type. So it can be your electrical, it can be mechanical, it can be your general, or it can be your software, hardware. So whatever type of material we are creating, so for each type of material, we have to create the material group as well. Okay, now let's see. So how can we create that? So you have to click on the settings for key fields. So click on settings for key fields, and here you have the option define material groups. So click on define material groups, and you can see these are the material groups which are already created in this system. Okay, so now go to new entries. So if you want to create, you can see these are the examples for mechanical, electrical, instrumentation, for raw material, for IT material, for safety material, for finished material, for valves, for motor, for mechanical services, for electrical services. So like that, you can create your material group based on your client's requirement. And material group code is 9-digit maximum. So you can use 3-digit also, 4-digit also, but maximum you can use 9-digit. Okay, so for example, I'm just creating M000 M401. Yeah, it's not yet created. M401 I'm creating for software related material or raw materials. Raw material group. So whenever I'll create a raw material type, I'll select this material group only. M000 M30402 is for software material. So whatever software I'll create under software group. Then you can create the same for hardware. Any hardware material, if you're going to purchase for your company, it should be hardware. Then same way, M1234004. So this is what I want to create for the electrical related materials. So like that, you can create all your type of material, whatever you want to create, and then save it. So that is how you can create your material group. Okay. So as part of the configuration for material master, we have defined the material group, which is done. Then material type. Then we have defined the number range. Then we have assigned the number range to the material type, and then account, and then material group. Okay. So this is the configuration part, which we can, or we have to do it for the material master. So here we have the option for field settings, field selections. So if you click on field selection, here you can see your define industry sector. So even you can define your industry sector also. You can assign field to field selection groups. So this, when we'll talk about the field selection and all, then we will discuss in detail about that. So as of now, I just wanted to show you how can you define the configuration for, or how can you configure the material type and number ranges, and how the assignment will be done, and how the material group will be created. So once you have created all these, now so when you will start creating the materials, whatever the input or whatever configuration we have done should be replicate there, right? Then only the entire configuration will complete, or then only we can check our configuration successfully, right? So once we have created the, or we have configured the configuration for material master, now let's try to create a new material. Okay, so now when we'll try to create a new material, what we need to do is we have to get into this transaction code MM01. Okay, go to MM01 and then select your material type. So whatever material type you have created, because the number range will pick based on your material type only. Okay, so I'm trying to create a raw material first. So this is the material type I have created because I had assigned the number range for this material type. Okay, so when I will start creating material by using this raw material type, system will provide the number based on the assignment of number ranges. Okay, now you can see here. Next, industry sector. So click on the industry sector and you can select your client belongs to which industry. Whether we can create the new industry sector also. So I'll show you that part also. Okay, so here you can see for engineering equipments, we have different industry sector code it is created. So it is depend whether your client is from pharma industry, mechanical industry, electrical, engineering, food industry, engineering equipment industry, or any other industry, service industry, construction industry, any industry, wherever it is belongs to, or your customer belongs to. So we can create the new industry sector as well. So as of now, select the mechanical engineering as, for practice you can use, or whatever it is created. If you want to create a new one, you can create. Okay, now next is select views. So once you have maintained your material types, so when first time when you are creating a material, you select only these two, don't select this tab. There is a different use of this material field. Okay, and there is a different use of this change number field, and there is a different number or the use of this material field. So this is the field which is used when you are trying to copy from the existing material and trying to create a new one. Then you have to enter that material number here, and then you can create a new one. Change number if you want to change. Okay, then if you are maintaining the material number here, so there are two ways. One possibility is either you are trying to create the external, you are trying to create a material by using the external number range, or means manually you are giving any number and you are trying to create, or system will expect that, or in the case when you are trying to extend your material to some different plant. So we'll see that path. Okay, now first you enter your industry sector and material type, then click on select views, and then select the views whatever it is required. Okay, then select your general data 1, 2, whatever plant you have. So these are the standard, like we have. So you might, if you have remember, we have created the or we have made the setting for user department in the material type, right? There it was work scheduling, purchase, sales, everything was there. So whatever you have selected, you will be able to see those data only. Okay, now when you are trying to create a material, you need to check from point of view. It is fine that you're selecting basic data 1, basic data 2, purchasing, general plant data 1, 2, and accounting 1. That is enough for you. But when you are trying to create a material, that material can be used by other department also, right? Sales department. Then you have to select sales view also. Then MRP1 if it is related to production, right? Then the same material will be used for work scheduling, it is related to production. Then same can be used in the warehouse also. Select warehouse management. Then select accounting too, if it is accounting related, if accounts or the FI consultant asked you to maintain something else. Then costing one or costing two, if you want to, if your finance team want to get the cost of the material. So like this, you have to select each and every views, and you have to maintain the data. But if you are selecting something related to sales, that means you need sales entry. So who will give you the sales entry? We are not the sales consultant, right? So we don't know what is the user, why are you they're trying to maintain the sales data for this material. So we will get the data. So basically they will make their configuration and that will replicate to us, and we can use sales data, production data, warehouse data, whatever it is required. But first of all, they need to create it. Okay. So once it is done, so once you have maintained, click on organization label, then enter your plant, because we are creating the material at plant level, and enter your plant here. Now see, the moment you have entered your plant, if you click on yes, there should be an error which should ask, which is there mandatory. It will ask whenever you will try to create a material in S4 HANA, if you have not made that setting related to material ledger. So material ledger must be productive for valuation area ADP1. So this is what we have already discussed. And in my previous video, I have already shown all this, but let me show you once again. Okay. So how can we do it? For this, we have the transaction code OMX1, go there. And here first you check your plant. What is your plant? ADP1. So you can see ADP1 and ADP2, both are available, but these are crossed. These are not green, right? It should be green and it should be active. It should be tick mark. Then only system will allow you to do that. Okay. Now go to OMX2. In OMX2, just check whether it is there or not. If not there, there is not an issue with this. So this is the material ledger type. So the standard material ledger type is, which we will use, is 9000 SAP standard. So it is there already. So no need to create a new one. So now go to OMX3 transaction. So in OMX3 now, you need to maintain your valuation area. So click on position and now search your valuation area. So valuation area is your plant. Enter your plant code. So you can see your plant code is not available. So what will you do? Either you go to new entries or copy or maintain. Okay. So valuation area is ADP1 because plant and company code assignment is already done. So based on your assignment, this company code data should reflect here automatically. And select your material ledger type as 9000. And here also enter 9000. Then press enter. Now you can see turn the status as green now, and then click on save. Okay. Once it is done, now go back to OMX1 and check the status OMX1. And then now click on position and search for your valuation area as ADP1 and continue. Now you can see this, it has been turned to the status as green, and then just flag this material ledger active 1. So, and the price, this price determination indicator should be 2. So if you'll click on this drop down, the transaction based should be 2, and it also should be 2. This is the standard one. That's it. Then click on save. After that, you'll be getting this information that after activating material ledger, live data must be converted. So continue and save it. And once it is done, now go use one more transaction code, that is CKM START. Okay, CKM start. Press enter, and here enter your plant, whatever plant you have. So if you have 2 plant, enter from and to ADP1 and ADP2. Okay, then remove this background processing and click on execute. Okay, so now the step and your plant can be set as productive. Now go back. So production startup of material ledger, go back again, and then now remove test run and click on execute. So now you can see the following valuation area will now be processed. So ADP1 and ADP2, and now plant is now productive, it is showing, right? Now if we'll try to create a material, system should allow us. So now use the same transaction code once again, go to MM01, Enter your material type and industry sector, then click on select views. Select your views, whatever it is required to you. Then click on organization label, enter your plant. So it will depend for which plant you are trying to create the material. Then click on continue. Now see, system is allowing you to create the material. And now see, this number range is picking. So this number range is picking from where? This number range is picking from your material type. So whatever material type assignment you have done, you have to, that number will pick from there. And now you can see the description. So in the description, you can see if you click on this tick mark. So wherever you can see the tick mark means those are the mandatory fields. Okay. So now when you can see the number for your material. Now you have to enter the description of that material. So what type of material you want to create? Suppose I am creating a material called rubber. Rubber is my material and 120 is some part number or something. Okay. Then unit of measure. So this is in general data, you can see your base unit of measure. So when you are talking about base unit of measurement, when you will buy this material, what will be the unit of measurement, whether it is in kg, liter, meter, or inch, or cubic inch, or percentage, or per mile. Based on your requirement, you can now select your unit of measurement. I know that the unit of measurement is available for kg because I want to buy it in kg. So I'll select it as kg. Now, what is your material group? So just now I have created my material group. So I'm creating a raw material. Rubber is my raw material. So I'll select my raw material group as M401 I had created. Yeah, this one for raw material group. So click on this. So these three field was the mandatory field: description, unit of measurement, and material group. Then here we have the field of old material number. So sometime, the number which we are using currently for this material, maybe previously the client was using the same material with some different number range. So as some different number they might be using in some different ERP. So just for their reference, if they want to know, we can maintain the old material number here for the new number, okay, if it is required. So like this, we have different views here. You can see explained production, product allocation, so few inputs or few fields which we may require from some other department as well. Okay. Now, then you can come down to this dimension and ENs. So if you know that whenever you will purchase this material and the gross weight, what will be the gross weight of that material? What will be the net weight of that material? What will be the volume of that material? What will be the size and dimension? Then you can mention. Otherwise, it is not required to mention all this. Okay. Once it is done, you have done, or you have maintained everything in your basic data 1 view. Now go to basic data 2 view. So whatever view you had selected, system will allow us to fill the data there. Now press enter. It will move to the second view, that is your basic data 2 view. So here you can see nothing is mandatory. Okay. But if you want to maintain anything, you can maintain. So system will not stop you to go to the next. So what was the next view? Next view was the purchasing view. Now click on next. It will trigger to the purchasing view. And here you can select your here you can see your description, plant, material group, unit of measurement is picking from your previous data from basic data 1. Purchasing group, here you can maintain whatever the purchasing group you have created and you want to use it. So purchasing group we have discussed in our enterprise structure. So you can go through it if you have any doubt. Okay. Then automatic PO, if you want to convert this as automatic PO, then this is the setting which we need to perform. But for this, we need to check with the EP consultant if it is required for your business. Otherwise, it is not mandatory to do it. Okay. Then here we have the option of purchasing value key. So purchasing value key means, so here this is the purchasing value key. The use of this field is to send the reminder to the supplier whenever you are procuring this material. And when are you expecting that material, in how many days? So if you want to send any reminder, then this purchasing value key is being used with shipping instruction. Okay, here you can see first reminder, second reminder, third reminder. So if you want to send any reminder, then only you use this field. Otherwise, it is not required to be used. Okay. Then here we have the field of other data or manufacturer data. Here you can see GR processing time. GR processing means goods receipt processing time. So when you will place the order of this material and then when you will receive, after that, on an average, what is the processing time you take to receive this material? So that date you need to mention if it is required. Okay. So these are the few fields which I wanted to share or I wanted to discuss with you for purchasing view. Now press enter, it will move to the next view, that is plant data storage one. So here you can see these are the field which is already there. Now apart from this, if you need anything like this field is basically used for batch management. So the material which we are creating, if that is required to be used in a batch, then we flag this. So the uses of this field we will discuss in the batch management topic. So when we will discuss on batch management, we will come back to the same screen and we will enable it and we will check it. Okay, that's it. Then press enter. It will move to basic your plant data storage 2 view. And here you can see again this weight and gross weight, net weight, volume, size, dimension. If you have maintained all this in your basic data 1 in the first view, then that data will pick automatically here. But if you have not maintained, you can maintain now, but it is not mandatory. If you know that these are the correct value we have for the gross weight, net weight, and volume, then only you maintain. Otherwise, it is not required to maintain. Okay. Then press enter. It will move to the next. That is your accounting one view. So this is in accounting one view, you have to select the valuation class. So valuation class is again the standard code which will be maintained by the finance department based on the material type. Okay, and we can see here for each type of material the valuation class will be different. That is how they use, the finance team use it for the accounting or for the finance point of view. Okay, then here we have the option here, price control indicators. So see, this is what the price control indicator we had maintained in the material type. So based on that you can select it can be your V or S. So because this is raw material, so we have selected V in the material mass in the material type setting. So it is picking automatically here. But if you want to change, you can change it based on the requirement. So usually it is a raw material. So I have used V per unit, then per unit price, and what is the standard price and what is the future price. So you have to maintain standard price if you're selecting your price control indicator as V. Sorry, as S. S is for standard price. If you are selecting your price control indicator as V, then you enter the price here. So 100 rupees per unit. That is what you are maintaining. And future price. Price is affecting from where? From when? It is affecting from today. So enter that date and press enter. And now see, it is saying that local currency converted to other currencies using other current exchange rate. So just a message. So press enter. Now you are about to exit, and do you want to save your data? Yes. So if you click on yes, you will be able to see that. So this is an error which is occurring. So we'll see what is about all this. But till here, this is how you need to maintain all the details. So it is not mandatory that this error will come to you. There are some issues with the backend. So maybe because of that it is coming. Okay. So now till here, you have to complete your activity. So this is how you can create, you can define your material types. Then you have to define the number range. Then you have to assign the number range to each material type. Then you have to define the material group. And then in MM01, you can create your materials. So in accounting one is your last view. Okay. So till account, once you have maintained everything in accounting one view, and if you'll click on save, you will be able to see your number created here. Okay. So because of this issue, we are not able to see the number here. Otherwise, you will be able to see the number created for this. So this will be only the number. So whatever the number it is showing, 731000001. So this is the number which is created for this particular material. So today onwards, maybe if this is the number range of the series, your client can identify, okay, this is the number and this is the description of the number. So that is how they can identify. So in the same way, you can create multiple materials and system will provide you the number based on the number range assignment. Okay. So this is what I just wanted to discuss today. So in the next session, we will discuss about the so material type. We have discussed on the material master, right? Sorry. We have discussed about the business partner also. You can follow or you can check the business partner video where I have we have discussed clearly about the configuration, end-to-end configuration of business partner, how the configuration will be done, and then how the supplier or the business partner can be created in the system. Okay. And the next will be our service master, and then we will have info record, source list, and quota arrangement. So we will discuss one by one. Okay. So that is what I wanted to discuss today. So we are going to wrap up the session today. So if you have any issue, please comment. We will come up with the solution. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining the session.